Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the From the Back Tees podcast, a podcast that is still and always from the back tees and a bigger part of a new website that is fromthestadium.com. I'm your host, Jerry Lou, and with me as always is Zach Pencer. Zach, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, and our guy Nolan, he's gone a bit MIA. Hopefully he joins us soon. So we also got a big guest today. For those who have been fans since the beginning, we have our first guest that we ever had on, PGA Tour caddy Lorcan Morris. How's it going, Lorcan?
Good,
Lorcan,
fellas.
get your ass in here.
Yeah, it's good to be back with you guys. I really enjoy talking with you fellas.
Oh, yeah. Last time we had a homeless guy knock on your window, so hopefully...
And there's not going to be homeless people here. We got a big security fence around my property right here in North Carolina.
Perfect.
I can see it. You're by your pool, so evidently you heard and saw Ryan Armour's wife by the pool, and so you I guess you tried to up the ante or call the raise.
Yeah, well, I tried to gingerly suggest that my wife participate tonight, but that was met with a roadblock. So
okay, well,
at
at least you tried gingerly. I mean, that's.
Well, she has red hair, so that's kind of a play on her hair too.
Really,
I don't know why
like a green screen behind you because it's so dark.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's beautiful out here, man. I'm 40 minutes west of Charlotte, North Carolina, in Boiling Springs, and it's great out here. It's actually spent most of this week with my little boy watching the space station every night, and then I think 2 nights ago, Tuesday night, I think it was, there was like a red moon or something, or
that sounds delicious.
Super moon. It was awesome. So yeah, we get to see a lot of good stuff out here.
That's cool. So I mean, have you been? How long have you been in North Carolina right now at said location?
Well, Kimberly and I bought this house in 3 years ago, so we've been here for 3 years. But we've been in North Carolina total. Actually, last Monday, I'm ashamed to say this. Well, not really ashamed to say it. I don't know. I feel awkward saying it. I've been in America longer than I was in Ireland. So last Monday I've been here for 19 years.
Well, congratulations. That's
18
something.
when we moved to the States.
That's something. That was my fault, Lorcan. Let me rephrase the question. Since the world and the country of the United States has this current situation that's going on, how long have you been where you're at in your domicile with you and yours?
Yeah, I've been fortunate this year, man. I've gotten to go to Ireland a lot. So pretty much anytime Ben and I have been off, I've had a week off. I've tried to go 3 days with my mom and dad in Dublin and 4 days here at the house in Charlotte. So I've been here. We finished in Puerto Rico. We missed a cut in Puerto Rico, so we finished on Friday in Puerto Rico. I flew to Ben's house on Sunday night for the Honda, and then we did not play the Honda, so I came back here. I've been on the Monday of Honda, and I went to Ireland until that Thursday. I went to Ireland until Donald Trump said that he was banning all travel to Europe, and I got on the next flight back to the States. So
yeah, like heard, as we're recording this, which is Zach, you can say the date later in case we're going to stack this one for another time, but it's still early April, and I just heard a headline that said Europe has half the confirmed cases right now, which on one hand, I mean, like we were saying earlier, I'm not that smart when it comes to all the European statistics, but I mean, I know it's an epicenter or a hub in terms of a lot of people, a lot of countries, a lot of movement right next to each other, a lot of people stacked on top of each other, a lot of old customs, a lot of old people. I mean, things are just very different over there that aren't as Western as we always think they are as we are, so.
Yeah, so basically, I've been here since the Honda because we didn't play Honda. We didn't get into Bay Hill or the Players, so I've been just here since Honda.
Yeah, so I guess before, we're gonna get to how you're with Ben Taylor now, but I guess you mentioned that you went to his house. Do you stay with Ben for a lot of the events? No,
I don't stay so much at his house per se, but at the tournaments we do stay together a lot, and that's something that he's brought up himself. He's making some good changes right now, and it's something that he wants his caddy very involved in, and I am very involved in it on a daily basis with him and his coach Darren Mays, and it's been great. Like we stay together as much as we can. I think pretty much through Dominican Republic, he'd had a lot of his accommodations booked. So we stayed together periodically through Dominican, and then our plan going forward is to stay together as much as we can.
That's interesting.
We're very good friends as well.
Caddies
So
don't.
that makes a big difference.
Yeah, I feel like in most circumstances they stay separate, at least from the guys we've spoken to. Is that very...
Yeah, I think Ben's from London, I'm from Dublin, so we kind of got the same. We're both from Europe, and I think generally my experience has been with the European Tour guys that I'm friends with. A lot of European Tour caddies and European Tour players are a lot closer than maybe on the PGA Tour. And I think that's probably a cultural thing. I think more than anything. I don't think.
Shines through in the Ryder Cup, does it not, Lorcan? In terms of, like, I don't want to keep it in terms of like we're better at singles or individual play, and they're better at team play, which is usually how it goes. Needless to say, hopefully we can't just rely on that in terms of like, you know, singles versus individual, but that's what they promote in the PGA Tour. Nolan sliding in from second. How you doing, buddy?
Out in left field. What is going on, guys? Sorry I am late.
Oh,
I was
no
a little
worries.
concerned for your safety.
Yeah. But this is, you know what, this is a perfect segue because, Zach, it's still kind of clunky at the front. I forgot to mention, please like and subscribe us on YouTube. You're looking at me right now. This is embarrassing, but you can see everybody when we're talking. Real quick, we'll let Nolan give us about 60 seconds of why he was late, and that way we can get his graphic up on the screen. Nolan,
We need a punishment.
Guys, it's pretty embarrassing. I don't even want to say. I was done with dinner, and classic
that damn dinner again. God.
Classic food coma. Just fell asleep.
I'm thinking there has to be some kind of punishment for this. What are we thinking, guys?
I'll take it, man. That's I got no excuse.
Well, we'll have to let that one marinate a little bit.
You're a good-looking fella, Nolan. You're worth waiting for.
Oh, Lorcan. So nice of you. Good to meet you, too.
Yeah, Nolan, Lorcan, Nolan.
So, Lorcan, could you give us, because last time we spoke, you were with Ryan Bream. I know nothing ended too poorly with you guys, but could you run us up to date and how things have gone since then?
Yeah, Ryan and I split after Mexico, after Mayakoba. We're still very good friends. We split on great terms. We had a great run together. Made a lot of money. I know that because I actually had to write a check for the taxes a few weeks ago. So we had a great run together, and it was a great opportunity. I went after the end of the PGA Tour season, I went over to Australia with Jamie Arnold, and I did a couple of weeks for Jamie over there at the Australian Open. We had a real chance to win. We played with Louis Oosthuizen and Paul Casey on Sunday, and I was kind of in limbo, didn't really know what I was doing. Jamie was on the Corn Ferry Tour. He's a great friend of mine, but ultimately I need to be on the PGA Tour financially for my family. So I just got back to the States, and I sent Ben a text, and I just said, listen, man, if you know of anybody that's looking, just give me a shout. And within a minute, he called me, FaceTimed me, and said, Craig and I just split, who he was working with. And I said, I'm sorry to hear that. And he goes, yeah, I want to hire you. So fortunate that I started with Ben in December. It's been great. But Ben and I were very good friends, man. It wasn't a case of like I was just reaching out to a PGA Tour player. I was reaching out to a guy that was a friend of mine.
Well, how old's Ben, and how long have you known him?
I've known Ben about 3 years. I think he's 27 years of age. Played college golf came over initially, played at Nova Southeastern, and then played at LSU.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, for some reason I thought he was like 30 or 31, or he was in his early 30s.
No, yeah, he's a young fella, 27. Yeah, only player in golf to win NCAA Division I and Division II national titles.
That's weird, isn't it? Like you'd think. I mean, maybe it's because certain students or players don't find themselves shifting that significantly among schools, or I mean, in this day and age, God. But I mean, that's still something. I mean, it's like Carmelo Anthony has the most points scored in Olympic history, like for basketball. I mean, hello, that's something, right? I mean, come on. You had to play in enough Olympic teams to and be scoring enough points. I mean, Nolan, what do you think about that real quick?
Oh, man, I don't –
Hey, he's on your team. Carmelo's on your team, dog.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, Carmelo's a baller. So.
All right, let me grab the wheel again real quick, then. I've never asked you this before. In the debate of Carmelo Anthony, Hall of Famer, yay or nay?
Yes.
Okay.
The dude was relentless in his day. I mean, he had some not so great playoff runs. But the dude is he's one of the greatest offensive players I've seen in the NBA in my lifetime. So
Plus, he does this thing. That's pretty cool.
Oh, is that what you were doing, Zach? I thought you were just saying, hey, like, good question, Jerry. Good question. Like, oh,
No.
yeah, I know it's a good question.
No, it was like, yeah, Melo knows what's up.
Anyway, sorry. We can get this back on track here, can't we?
I'm not going to admit to not knowing who Carmelo Anthony is, but I don't know who he is.
For you, no, that's probably a good thing. He's a basketball player who
I'm terrible, man. I give you some. It's like I don't know anything about basketball except Michael Jordan, and I don't know anything about baseball. I don't know anything about baseball. Period. Nothing at all. Except about I know Babe Ruth, and I know the guy. I don't even know the guy's name, but I know that somebody got banned for life for gambling on baseball or something, and he should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame, right? Pete Rose, is that his name, right? Right.
Rose.
Ben and I were at Pebble Beach this year in the tap room, which is like the week of the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. It's ultra exclusive. I mean, it's like you cannot be in there unless you're basically a player, a caddy, or celebrity, or a guest of any of them. And we're standing around and we're having a beer with this guy, and he's asking me all these questions about Ben and stuff. But like he's like asking, like he's very, very interested, which is like, if you're around any professional athletes, and this is not a knock on them at all, because you have to be like this to be the best in the world at what you do, but they're very self-absorbed, and it's their world and we live in it. And I have total respect for that, because that's the way that I am when I'm at work as well. That's how you get to be the best in the world at what you do. But I'm talking to this guy and I'm thinking to myself, most of the people in here that are guests are females, funny enough, at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. I don't know how it works out like that, but most of the guests are girls. So this guy is like very interested. So I just say, how'd you get into tap room, man? It's pretty cool in here, isn't it? And he's like, yeah. I was like, are you playing? Or he's like, yeah, I'm playing. And I said, what do you work at? And he, or where do you work? And he said, oh, in Houston. And I said, that's great. It turns out that was Justin Verlander. He won. So here's me questioning why Justin Verlander was in the tap room at Pebble Beach.
Sure, how tall is he? How tall is he? Like, what are you doing, Lorcan? I mean,
how tall? He's freaking huge.
He's 6'5", maybe.
Yeah.
I'm
and
sure
he's married to Kate Upton.
Yeah.
How do you not know this stuff?
How tall are you, Lorcan?
5'8".
Oh,
in my spikes.
Yeah, in metal spikes, yeah.
I'm sure that was a breath of fresh air for someone to come up to him and not really know who he was.
You know, man, that's and actually it's funny because Verlander and I have become friends, and him and Ben have become very close. They've been playing some golf together in Florida at spring training, and I've talked to him a few times, and he's like, I like you, and I really like Ben because you guys don't give a crap who. I mean, you guys just have this no holds barred. I mean, dude, I don't care. The guy pitches for the freaking.
You don't know who he is.
I was getting along great with this fella. It was a genuine question. I was like, I think it's cool that this guy is so interested in golf and so interested in Ben, and he's able to tell us some stuff that he's done, and then all of a sudden.
No, Verlander is one cool on.
He's great. He's awesome.
Yeah, I've heard many good stories.
Yeah, really, really good guy. We ended up getting along good. But that guy's a megastar. I had no idea.
Oh, he strikes me as like what Bill Murray would be if he was an ace starting pitcher, just in terms of temperament or just bouncing around, being like, hey, you want to play some beer pong or whatever? It's
Verlander played for Detroit. Is that right?
He started with Detroit, yeah. Now he's
Ryan Bream is Michigander. Ryan's from Traverse City, and I'm telling Ryan the story the next day because we played with Ryan in Pebble Beach, and he's like, hey, did you see Verlander this week? And I was like, the baseball player, and I was like, yeah, actually, and I did, and I tell him the story, and he's like, oh, he goes, I went up to him, he goes, and Ryan Bream is not easily, like, he's not one to go up to people and talk to them, and he went up and got a picture with Verlander, so he was, he had the last laugh at his ex-caddy, not knowing who this dude was, and Brem's crawling at his feet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, one of the, I'd have to say, like, when it comes to his performance on the field, one of the things that stands out to me about Verlander is, as a starting pitcher, when he starts, like, pitching, like, if he's pitching a good game and he's in the 8th and 9th inning, he actually starts throwing the ball harder somehow. Like, and not too many guys can say that just because of the terms of how physics and anatomy and biology and sports goes. That's just not how, like, after you've thrown 75, 80 pitches, all of a sudden he finds a 5th gear or a 6th gear all of a sudden. It's like, you want to see Justin pitching in the 9th inning because that's when he gets
and I
real.
saw him play this year. That's what's so embarrassing. And I said that to him. I obviously saw him play because when we were at the Houston Open, the owner of the Astros had us all to his suite. He had an entire floor of the stadium, and any players and caddies plus one guest could go to any of the games of the World Series that week. And it was it was all you can eat and all you can drink. And obviously, being from Dublin, I can drink a lot. So, and I wasn't very interested in baseball, but I was my first ever baseball game. I mean, people were like, "Oh, what's your first ever baseball game?" What's the World Series? I mean, so stupid.
No, you're a real asshole.
Yeah, people cut their left nut off to go to that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, take it as a Dodger fan right here, where, like, I could just go to the World Series any year. My team's probably in it. Hell yeah, absolutely. I'd cut a nut off. I don't need 2 of these things.
Yeah.
This would have been way better if we were just watching the World Series and it, like, cut to the owner's box and we just see you, like, in the back, like, chugging beers while everyone else is watching the game.
With, like, your shirt off and you're pulling somebody else's shirt over their head.
It was way better than that.
Well, yeah, I get it.
No, I was actually at that game with Mark Hubbard, actually with Reed's guy, and actually Sebastian Kaplan's caddy Ed. It was me and Ed and Hubbs went to that game together. Hubbs finished second that week. He should have friggin' won.
Yeah.
Lanto beat him down the stretch on Sunday. He held a great putt on 16.
Yeah.
Oh,
But funny enough, that was, I think, on Friday night or Saturday night. And Mark Hubbs is a great friend of mine, has been for a number of years. Hubbs was not drinking, which I found very unusual, and that really made me think this guy is going to do the business tomorrow. And he
no!
Yeah.
Oh no! Right, you're right.
Yeah.
You can't change routine. I've heard
I
stories.
I don't think it was anything to do with about that. I just think it just showed the level of focus that he was at on that week.
Well, but you know Ernie Els, right? Or at least you've heard Ernie Els.
I know Ernie well because Colin Byrne caddied from him. Colin and I are from the same place. We're both from Dublin.
Oh, killer!
Yeah,
That's
he was
cool.
bag sharing with Ernie for years. Colin won the U.S. Open with Retief Goosen. Yeah, no, I know Ernie.
Ooh,
and then
okay.
Obviously, I was with Davy Vanderwalt as well, so we played a lot of practice rounds with Els when I was with him in 2014.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay,
Ernie's not afraid to put him back.
Oh yeah, and that's why I bring that up. Was I heard the story. This was back when he was in a tournament in like the early 90s or something, and he was doing pretty good. I don't think it was a major. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I think it was just a regular tournament. We'll just call it the Greater Greensboro or something. But like Ernie was just doing his thing, putting them away every night. I think that this was before he won any majors, so this is like pre-94. And so we're talking like early 90s, and he all of a sudden after 3 rounds, 2 nights of hanging out or partying, whatever, he found himself like with a solid lead going to the 4th round, and he decided not to party. Like he decided to like turn in early and not do anything, and he wound up like shooting a 78 and just squacking away and like coughing up the lead and everything and losing the tournament. And the whole like point of the story was like, just don't change your routine, even if you're like in the lead. Just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, and that was Ernie Els, like you said. He knows how to put him back, so why would he change? He was young, but
it's not that this game's mental, right?
Oh yeah. Hey, there's 100 hurdles to conquer. I've conquered 99 of them, and I'm staring at the giant mental hurdle right now, and it's scalable, but it is still a hurdle nonetheless for all of us. It's just the last one for me. Zach, it's the first one he's conquered. Zach, tell Lorcan about your mini tour aspirations here. Come on.
Lorcan, so listen to this. I am not a good golfer strokes-wise. Like, I'll shoot like a 90 to 95 probably, pretty consistently. Won't break 90. Let's not get crazy. But my mental game is as good as it gets. Like, I will go up with the best of them. It is. Jerry's nodding his head no, but you'll see. I'll hit it in the water.
No, I was responding to Nolan's text, but keep going, Zach.
I will just keep going for it. So I've made it my mission to enter a mini tour event and just completely donate however much it costs to enter.
Hey, you won't be the only one donating, man. Those mini tours are ridiculous, man. If you got a field of 30 players, you probably got, what do you think, Jerry, 5 guys that can win on a given week?
Oh, I don't. Oh my God, you're asking me. I have no clue.
Oh, me too. I did that for 3 years, man. I mean, I won a few of them, but I mean, it's for the most part.
I'm going to enter a
I gotta.
3-day event and try to break 100 over par. That's the goal.
Oh, you'll do that easy.
That's a lot of credit. Okay.
Get
You'll have to bet me.
Reid the caddy for you.
He is.
Oh, there you go. There he is.
Yeah, there's 2 strokes off right there. Now, Lorcan.
Yeah, so if anybody laughs at your scores, Doppler's going to take care of them.
Yeah, people are saying like, oh, the guy I'm playing with is going to be pissed that I'm like taking so long. Well, first of all, I'll probably be faster than him anyways because I'm a very fast golfer, even though I'll take like double as many shots. 2, Reid will like beat them up, so they're not going to say anything.
You know what I love about Reid? He's so over professional. He's my best friend out there. He will walk the golf course and give you all the information you need to shoot less than 100 over par.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's I don't have to tell you, Lorcan, that's what makes him a good caddy, and that's why there's there's under 1,000 of us that do this every day for a living. But real quick, before I forget, I want to ask you this, Lorcan. Do you happen to have a funny Reid story, like something off the wall? It doesn't have to be the most embarrassing or the bluest thing you've ever seen or heard, but I mean, give us some Reid dirt.
I don't have any Reid dirt. I know.
Well, you can ruminate. You can think about it. As a matter of fact, you don't have to think about it by the time I finish this, but I'm going to get our housekeeping out of the way here. And Zach, I want you to talk about our new website when I'm done with this. But thank you very much. In these tough times, we're still brought to you by Gorse Golf Head Covers. Yes, gorsegolf.com. Beautiful head covers, half the price of all that expensive leather shit that you see out there right now. And it's for a good cause because it's a buddy of mine who's making these head covers. He's doing such a good job and they look so beautiful. He's thinking about quitting caddying every day, which he's done every day for 15 years, amazingly, to do this company with his wife, Christine. It's gorsegolf.com. And if you type in From the Back Tees, all one word, you'll get 10% off in the promo or coupon code area. You type in From the Back Tees, all one word, 10% off, an already cheap and awesome purchase. If you got any questions for the podcast, please send them to ftbtpodquestions@gmail.com. And again, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're not trying to take away from the pod listeners, so to speak, but I mean, everyone digests this in a different way. And if we get more YouTube views or subscribers more than we do anything else, that helps us in the long run. Honestly, you've heard it from other podcasts about monetizing and things like that. Just help us grow. We win, you win. Zach, can you give us a little hint about the new conglomeration and morphing the site?
Yeah, well, firstly, going to the YouTube channel, you definitely want to do that because that'll be the only way you could see Lorcan's lovely pool. And if you're missing out on that, really, you're missing out on everything. But the entire site, we're going to be expanding to www.fromthestadium.com. We're going to have all sports. Basically, we have 4 to 5 writers minimum for every single sport. We're going to have college sports, NHL, NBA, MLB, and we're going to even be covering like all sorts of random events. Hopefully we'll be expanding to esports as well even. And we're also going to have a good amount of new podcasts available. So we're very excited about that. Hopefully it'll be able, a bunch of our writers are all like experts in a bunch of different sports, as is most people. And we just think we could bring you guys as much content as possible, especially now when everyone's bored sitting at home.
Yeah, those Gorse Golf head covers are awesome, man. I went down there and actually looked at them. They're really, really good.
Oh, and he has a lot of his stock removed right now because of like the whole Me Too and like equal lib type thing going on in terms of the gender.
Brilliant, man. This great material that's made from too.
Oh yeah, he had like topless pinup girls and like some like good like Mexican style art, Dia de los Muertos stuff, but he still makes go check out Gorse Golf, folks, and give him a call or shoot him an email. He'll make whatever he wants, whatever you want, and you'll enjoy it. So thank you, Lorcan. Appreciate that.
No, that's bringing endorsement.
So speaking of Zach, before we get to Nolan's Tiger question, which I was already referring to, but thanks for talking about it now. We got this podcast network. Nolan, you got another podcast you're on, right? Tell us about it, or tell us about what you know about other podcasts on our network other than ours.
I do, Jerry. So we are now the FTS Podcast Network from the Stadium Podcast Network.
Sorry.
Go ahead, follow our Twitter, from the Stadium _. That's going to be our mothership, guys. So everything you want will be coming from there.
Yeah, and I guess if in so many words I can tell, like, Zach Jack, calm down. I said Zach. Zach essentially, he started this whole thing as like wanting to make like a viral golf website. And now that has become kind of like a nice foundation for us. And we really appreciate and love all you folks who listen and subscribe and pay attention. And we do our best to reciprocate all that. In the end, we realize we have a great team of golf writers and everyone's like good at one thing, good at one thing, good at one thing. But it turns out 3 of us are good at the same thing. These guys are good at this other stuff. And next thing you know, why not expand from just the branch into the rest of a tree, right?
Yeah, and the golf won't be getting smaller. If anything, it'll be getting bigger because everyone who's been writing golf is going to keep writing golf. And now a bunch of the new guys are going to write golf.
That's almost like a mandatory thing, right, Zach? Like if you're like to do like a virtual resume for like who's going to just like come work from the stadium, so to speak, you'd be like, all right, first and foremost, you got to be into golf because this is just kind of how it all started. I mean, that's like our fingerprint test, so to speak. I mean,
exactly.
So
it'll help us with everything.
We've got a group of great podcasts on there right now. Mine is Blazer Dads. Talk a lot about the Portland Trail Blazers. We're going to probably be adding, I'm sure, a more broad NBA one down the road. We've got a baseball podcast, another golf podcast on there. If you, for some reason, hate us so much, but you want your golf fix from somewhere else, give them a follow. So,
but hey, you know what? There's no harm in saying that because right now I've been like feasting on a lot of Joe Rogan because his podcasts are very long form and I've been like working in the yard for a lot of hours. So you need a lot of content. It's not going to hurt our feelings if you download another podcast. It's like I can name like 1 or 2 people who only listen to our podcast, and those 1 or 2 people who are listening right now, who you know who you are, God bless you. But come on, that means like you only watch one TV show on Netflix.
There's a lot of good stuff out there, isn't there?
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, especially in these times, we have a lot of free time. So, Nolan, you said that podcast was Blazer Dads?
Blazer Dads.
Oh, no wonder I haven't been catching up. I've been listening to Laser Dads, and well, you know what? Never mind. You know what? Moving on. So, does anyone else got any questions for Lorcan, Laser Dads?
Yeah, I've got a question. Let's bring it on back to golf here, Mr. Nolan Tiger Woods. A little bird of mine tweeted at me and said, "You have had an interaction, Lorcan, with Tiger, possibly."
Or a Tiger. No, I've known Tiger, I guess, since the first time I was on PGA Tour, which is 8 years ago. So I mean, we know each other pretty good. And then I'd run into him in Ireland when he was over there before the British Open. Before that, and then Joe and I are quite close. We talk regularly. We missed him by one group of farmers, if you can believe that.
That's right.
We did, man. It was unbelievable, and we kind of got held up going to the scoring area with some guys that we played in the pro-am with that are great. They're great fellas, and if we'd have gotten there 15 seconds earlier and signed the card, we'd have played with them on Saturday. But it didn't matter. It's all good. We still got the full experience outside of playing with them as regards to crowds. It's unbelievable. But Joe came over and put the bag beside us on Saturday morning on the putting green, and we got to talking. And Tiger came up and he calls me Irish, and he's like, "What's up, Irish?" And I was like, "Tiger," I said, "Can you believe how many people have come out here today to watch me caddy for Ben?" I said, "I can't believe it." And he thought it was the funniest shit he's heard in a long time.
That's hilarious. We just had.
But I mean, he's great, man. He's so awesome, and it would have been great. It would have been great to play with him. I think if you're on the PGA Tour, and if you caddy on the PGA Tour, if you play on the PGA Tour, I mean, you're a liar if you don't want to play with Tiger Woods. Everybody wants to play with Tiger Woods, especially now. As opposed to in 10 or 15 years.
Back
in his prime. Yeah, everybody wants to play with him. But we had a great, unbelievable experience, man. The play was obviously quite slow. Torrey's a really hard course, that south course, and we were on the tee box with him a lot of the time during the day. It was an unbelievable experience. And let me tell you, going down let me think about this. The 4th hole at Torrey, if you've ever been there, is a par 4. Runs right down the ocean, all the way on the left. Well, at La Jolla, they launched these things almost like hang gliders, but they're like
paragliders or something.
Paragliders, that's it.
Yep.
So this guy is like, we're on the green and Tiger's in the fairway, and he's like He's no more than like literally it could take a 60-degree wedge and chip it at this guy. He's right there. It's like the height of my house, 2 stories. So I immediately, being a massive boxing fan, think back to, do you remember Fan Man? It was Riddick, Riddick Bowe.
Yeah.
Who was that? Riddick, was it Riddick Bowe and
It wasn't Tyson and Bowe, was it?
no, it was I want to say it was Riddick Bowe and Holyfield. But
Anyway,
this guy comes out and he's from Canada, Zach. He really was. Sorry.
Fan man, Zach.
Yeah.
Fan
So
man.
this guy, they have this open air boxing match for the world heavyweight title, and this guy flies into the ring, destroys the whole thing. They stop the fight for like 7 or 8 minutes. So I immediately think of Fan Man. And when we get done in the scoring area, I say to Joe, Joe, what about that bloke? I was like, that was like Fan Man. He's like, Tiger said the same thing to me. When you guys were on the green, he turned to me and said, this is going to be Fan Man. And I was like, that's so ironic. I said, because I just said that to Ben. I was like, this guy is going for Tiger. I said, he's going to fly on the green.
So we're not saying you and Tiger think alike, but we're not saying you guys don't think alike.
We definitely do not think alike, because I am not even trying to compare myself to Tiger Woods, but I'm saying that we are both probably huge elite sports fans, in the fact that we have total respect for everybody except Carmelo Anthony, because I don't know who he is, who are at the top level of their game.
Hey, fair is fair. You know, recognition is one thing.
That's hilarious, because we just had Ryan Palmer on.
He's great.
We had who on?
Excuse
Who
me.
did we have on?
Excuse me. We
had
not.
Arnold Palmer on.
We did not have Ryan Palmer. We did not have
Ryan Moore. That's right.
Arnold
Get your
Palmer.
ass in here, Ryan Moore.
Gosh dang it. Anyway.
We had the hot dog guy. Nolan, get Nolan, sit upright, son.
Well, man, guys, what about it? It's a year ago almost to the day, isn't it, since Tiger won the Masters last year?
Well, yeah, and actually, and while Nolan collects himself, and he can give us a little like mini eulogy, because he's Lorcan. You didn't meet Nolan before. He's our Tiger rider. Like Zach picked me and then picked him. Like we were the first few guys to be on the site with him. But our podcast is pretty much over a year. We didn't really necessarily have a year anniversary, Zach. Wasn't our first podcast like a Masters preview the week of or something?
It was.
Zach,
yes.
Sorry. There you go.
We're going to have an anniversary show, like, once I'm back in Montreal, and have, like, my suit and all, so we can all dress up to be ready for it.
Dress up, yeah.
Does it have to be in Montreal? Because I'd rather go to the Stampede in Calgary.
No, Lorcan, we're all still going to be on screens like this, okay?
I'm sorry. Okay, so we had Ryan Armour on the podcast recently, and he told us a little Tiger nudge he had. What was it? He was playing with him at the Memorial, and he's a big Ohio State guy. He went to Ohio State, and that's played in Ohio, and he changed his announcement, his starting location, like where he's from, to the Ohio State, which is the huge university over there. And everyone just went crazy. And was it Jerry that was like, dude, that's the first time I've seen Tiger out ovation before.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Joe LaCava is a really interesting guy. I think they're gonna have a little special on him on ESPN.
Zach, why don't we have Joe on the show? What the hell?
Yeah, no. We'll have
you reached out?
I'll get you guys on. I'll get him on here for you guys. Joe's one of the most down-to-earth, level-headed people you ever meet, man. Honest to God. Most of 99.9% of guys associated with the PGA Tour, players or caddies, are. He's awesome.
Lorcan, did you know Stevie?
Man, I did not know him when he worked for Tiger. However, I did get to caddy in the New Zealand Women's Open when he did that 1 week stint for I think it was Danielle Kang.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. A different guy, man. A different one of the few that's probably a bit of a different bird.
True, and that's why I was going to ask you that, just in case, because I mean, you've heard there's been a lot of peripheral stories about Stevie, and they've all been fairly low key and fairly consistent. But I mean, that doesn't always mean anything per se. But when you're referring to Joe, all I was hearing in my head is like, what does it take to be a type of caddy to be Tiger Woods' caddy? And I just think Joe LaCava all the time. I'm just like, yeah, like you just need somebody who's like just perfectly balanced at everything.
I think at this stage of his career for sure, but I think that Steve was absolutely perfect for that time. Well,
Yeah.
how long were they together? 14 years or something?
But I think, I mean, it even, not necessarily like the reason why Tiger got rid of Fluff was because Fluff became a celebrity or whatever, but Stevie, correct me if I'm wrong, Stevie never needed a caddy on tour to make a living. Like, he had his own like racing team in Australia and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
he had his own living.
Obviously, he was pretty financially set. He caddied for Peter Jacobsen when Jacobs won the best in the world, so he made a lot of money through Jake, and then he had the opportunity obviously with Tiger then, and he caddied for Greg Norman as well.
Yeah, but I was just going to bring up, people forget about that too. Yeah.
Well, but I have nothing but complete and utter respect professionally for Steve Williams. I think he's brilliant. I'd really like to sit down with him and have a beer and get inside his head. But
does he even drink though? Or he strikes me as
Steve's
aggressive.
very tough to get close to.
Yeah.
But I think I don't think that's because he's caddy for Tiger Woods. I think that some people are just made up like that. That's just his personality, and all the best to him. That's just the way that it is.
I can get that. Yeah, I mean, that's
no
and you said it best. It was perfect for Tiger at the time. I mean,
I think it might. I don't know. And Reed may be able to tell you different, or some of the other players that you have on may be able to tell you different. But I don't know anybody else at that time that would have done the job that Steve did for Tiger, because he's more of a bodyguard. I mean, we're talking about a global superstar back. Tiger's moved and was much bigger back then than he is. He's still huge. I'm not taking away at all of what he is in 2020. But I mean, pre fallout in 2009, whatever happened with his personal life, that's none of our business. But up to 2009, I mean, you're dealing with somebody that just moved the needle in a way that hasn't been seen in golf before. And I think Steve was the perfect guy for that job. Very, very burly, aggressive.
How tall is Steve?
New Zealander, yeah.
How tall is Steve?
Steve sounds about 6 foot.
Really? I'm 6 foot. Okay.
Yeah.
But he's just a bulldog though. I mean, because
he's tough.
I always saw his interactions with cameramen or heard about him where it's like people would be like, this is back when cameras made noises. Oh, he would just straight up, like, if he didn't like throw the camera at you, he would like break it throwing on the ground or something.
Yeah,
like,
I think all of us have that in us though. I think everybody that does this for a living on that level on the PGA Tour definitely has that ability in them. I know I do, for sure. Because you have to, man. I mean, that's what you're paid. You're paid to be an asshole. Pretty much.
Oh yes. No. And
It's not an easy job, and I don't enjoy doing it. But I mean, I don't enjoy being the asshole. But I mean, you have to do it.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm not trying to contradict or play devil's advocate or anything like that. I'm just saying only on the tours is when that's an issue. I mean, in terms of like focus and concentration and quiet and things like that. So I got to admit, Lorcan, that's something that like, and this is what I was thinking. This is reminding my days when I was a mall security cop on the side. It's like there were like 20 rules that everyone had to follow or whatever, but every cop like picked one rule that was just their pillow that they were going to hump the hardest or something. Mm-hmm. So it's like hearing you say that, part of me is like, oh, well, I can't relate to that as a resort caddy. So therefore that doesn't even bother me, whatever. And I thought of all these other guys where it's like, oh, things that bothered them that didn't bother me and vice versa.
So man, at Torrey on Saturday, obviously everybody and their uncles out there, right? We're playing one group in front of Tiger Woods. Ben starts 3-3-3, birdie, par, right? Or birdie on par, birdie. That's what it was. It was 4-3-2. And we go to the fourth hole right by the water. And that's a tee box where there's a lot of people around. And literally see this guy go, he has a beer and he drinks and goes, who the fuck is this guy, Taylor? We're standing, I'm like, we're right there. He's right on the tee box. That's what he says. So Ben rips it up the fourth. And he has business cards in his bag that has his Twitter and his social media on there, and Ben Taylor, PGA Tour player. And I go into the bag, I take out one of those business cards, Ben takes off, and I was like, hey, motherfucker, this is who he is right here. Check him out. He's really fucking good. That's how that went. And then we got to 17. We hit it in the fairway trap. We hit a great shot in there, like 5 feet. And about 5 guys say, go back to England. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
The same guy or
different people, man. Yeah.
Wow.
I also heard when I caddy, I wear a tricolor, green, white, and orange, and it says Ireland on there. And then we were on one of the holes on the back nine where people were, hey, Taylor, your caddy's in the IRA. Because, like, come on, dude. That's the best you got.
Wait, no, this all
Yeah.
came from San Diego?
What's that?
Did this all come from Torrey?
Yeah. But that was on Saturday, man. It's the worst crowd you can have. It's a Tiger crowd.
It's exactly. I hate to say it. I can vouch for the Torrey tournament so much because I played that course a bit. I used to get 10 free tickets a year there, and I lived there many years. And it was I noticed there at that one course in particular, at that one tournament in particular, it was the tipping point where I noticed people aren't going to enjoy golf or a sporting event anymore. Kids are just like, hey, what? Oh, it's $40 to go in here and party with a bunch of people. Okay, they're treating golf tournaments like rock concerts or like festivals or whatever, which is fine. It's fun or whatever. But when it comes to some points, like when you're standing on a tee box, like I heard one guy say like Phil Mickelson came up and this one kid who was just like wearing some like crappy boating hat, like some crummy Hawaiian shirt. Believe you me, I know my thing or two about Hawaiian shirts. He's just like, who's this guy or whatever, and I almost like tried to lead into him to start an altercation just because it's like, somebody needs to just put this dog down for a minute. I mean, just
well, the best
like,
was the guy goes, Taylor, your caddy's in the IRA, and I had some friends of mine from Ireland follow it, and one of my mates goes, yes, he is, and he knows where you parked your car, so be very careful when you start it up, referring to the IRA car bombs, which is not something to make fun of. However, in that particular moment in time, it was very applicable, and the guy's eyes, an American guy's eyes were wide as baseballs.
Oh, what a loser. No, see, now, if I were standing there and you heard me say, like, hey, Taylor, your caddy's in the IRA, and you were to look at me, I'd probably look at you and be like, that was the best I had, man. I just saw your shirt. I don't know anything about Ireland. I just know they have the IRA and they're bad. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you would say that about the car bomb, and I'd be like, oh, good one.
Yeah.
You got any crazy stories of down while you were down there in at Torrey?
No, not too many, man. Torrey was a very quiet week for me off the golf course. Sydney Michaels, his girl that I worked for on the LPGA Tour, referred to Sydney the last time I was on here. Worked for Sydney for several years. I won twice with her. Sydney lives down there, so Sydney and I spent the whole week together. We had a great time.
Oh, cool.
Got to, eat a lot of really good meals. Spent a lot of time at her parents' place out there. I'm very, very good friends with their dad, Alex. Alex and I talk a lot on the phone, and Joanne, her mom. So yeah, spent a week out there with Sydney. Very, very quiet. Some really, really good meals.
How's she doing
a lot of really good quality time. Actually, when Ben and I drove over from, we were at American Express the week before in the desert. We drove over and had dinner with Sydney on Sunday night going to Torrey. So it was great.
Cool.
How's she doing on the tour?
Sydney's out right now. She's been injured now for a couple of years. She had the same surgery that Tiger had on her back. Yeah, so she's just kind of hanging around and trying to strengthen that up.
Now, I'm sorry, Lorcan.
She became a mom as well. Her daughter Isla is the same age as my son Fergus, so she's been a mom and just trying to figure it out. But I'd love to see her back, man, because she's a world-class player.
Refresh us real quick. Was that the first time that she went under the knife, or? No,
it wasn't. She's been under a couple of times now, at least twice, I believe.
Yeah. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Like once you, like going to the knife on your back, it's like then it becomes like a repeated thing, or it's not at all. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
No, it's tough. It's a very tough situation. It kills me to see her not playing. Yeah, but Torrey, Nolan was quiet off the course. I'd love to tell you we went and got wrecked every night and it was awesome, and we were down in Tijuana and we went to the donkey shows, but that didn't happen. So
that's not how San Diego is. Not when you have money and you have affluence and you're.
It costs so much money to have fun in San Diego, man.
Yeah, exactly. You stay at home or you go out to dinner.
Yeah, Sydney lives just outside of San Diego in Murrieta, so that's where we were able to go to.
Wait, whoa, Murrieta's not even quite. Murrieta's like a good 60 minutes away from San Diego.
Yeah, about an hour. Yeah, that's about right, an hour.
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes outside Temecula. Yeah,
well, Temecula is where she plays out. But I mean, to be fair, I mean, if you stay in downtown San Diego and you're going to Torrey Pines, it's an hour. You stay in Murrieta, it's an hour. So I mean, what the difference does it make? It's just a mileage thing at the end of the day.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, when I was about to ask you, where does she live? When you said just outside of San Diego, I was thinking, well, certainly not Chula Vista. Maybe it's Del Mar or Carlsbad.
We had a great meal out there, man. She took me to this restaurant one night. It was a car dealership, and the restaurant was on top of the car dealership, and you looked over the entire lot. It was friggin' awesome. I haven't been to a restaurant like that before.
That's wild. I stayed in Encinitas.
It wasn't a Kia dealership. It was a high-end dealership, so we had a really nice time.
Oh, there you go.
Several great meals.
Yeah, I mean, San Diego, that whole area is so great. I stayed in Encinitas. It's like the best Mexican food you can get in the world.
Oh
maybe.
yeah, by far.
Well,
Yeah.
Nolan, to be fair, Encinitas is still kind of one of those in-betweener places where the property still hasn't gone off the charts. There's still a lot of great dive bars with a lot of bad cocaine to be shared. And,
Mhm.
and it still kind of has a beach bummy feel without being expensive yet, even though it's surrounded by Carlsbad on the north and Del Mar to the south. Like when I moved from Aspen, I was moving from Aspen to Carlsbad, and other people, my friends in Aspen, said, "Oh, you're so lucky." And I'm just like, "Excuse you? We live in Aspen, and you're saying I'm lucky to move to Carlsbad? Carlsbad must be pretty great, even though I'd already been there." But Encinitas is legit. That place is
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
awesome.
hit.
So chill. Like
Oh, yeah.
it was just, you could do, anything, and it was wonderful. If you could pick up like that climate and put it anywhere, of course, too, like it's never bad weather down there. It's wonderful.
Oh yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I got one more pretty serious question. Well, not that serious, come on. But my question is, what do you think separates like the best caddies in the world from a lot of the guys trying to break through or get on the bag of a top player?
From the Jerrys.
You talking like
Well, on tour.
like what's that? Well, what do you consider the best in the world? Do you consider the guys on the PGA Tour? Are you talking about what separates a Corn Ferry caddy from a PGA Tour caddy?
Well, not
Yeah,
even
that's
that.
actually a good question.
Yeah, that works. But I'm sure there are guys on the Corn Ferry who, like, part of it for sure is just getting on the bag of someone, and, like, building the relations. But do you think there's anything?
Man, I think that there's I just think it's pure luck, man. Honestly, it's about caddying is all about relationships, man. That's what it's about. It's about getting on the bag at the right time with the right guy. That's what it's 100%.
I've said that before. I've
Yeah,
been on the
I think.
right
Yeah.
star.
Yeah, it's like about it's about just getting on the bag with the right guy. I mean, you got to spend more time with a guy than you spend with your wife. So it's got to be somebody that doesn't annoy you very much, that you get along well with, that you want to spend a lot of time with. Caddying is not very difficult, man. But spending a lot of time around somebody in that tough heated environment is quite difficult. I read an article last night about Colin Byrne where he said, the day you get hired is just is a day closer to the day you get fired, which is pretty friggin' accurate.
No, that's pretty spot
So
on.
what separates them? There probably is some separation from the guys that are not working for guys that are in the top 75 in the Corn Ferry Tour. If you're working for a guy outside the top 75, probably preparation, willingness to adapt to a particular player. My personality, I like to talk a lot. I'm very outgoing. I like to meet people. Ryan Bream was very, very much insulated into himself, and his family was very, very quiet. Didn't want anybody to talk to. Very, very tough to caddy for, because it was very hard for me not to talk to somebody. So yeah, probably the willingness to adapt, preparation, and professionalism. There's a lot to be said, man, on Bruce Edwards, and Smiley, who caddies for Henrik Norlander, was very good friends with Bruce Edwards. Smiley was a pallbearer at Bruce's funeral.
Oh, really?
He said that Bruce said, as long as you tuck your shirt in, brush your hair, and spray yourself in cologne and brush your teeth, he goes, that's all you got to do. He goes, they ain't going to be none the wiser what you did the night before, which goes back to preparation. He prepared for the day. He looked like he knew what he was doing. He probably didn't half the time because he was half cut up from the night before, but probably so was Tom Watson at that particular time in his life. So they're probably a perfect combination.
Wait, you think Tom Watson was like that? Because I get the feeling.
Tom, for
mostly
sure,
Tom Watson
man.
the past several years. No, Tom to me seems very, very starchy.
Yeah, he was not afraid to put them back when he was one of the best players in the world.
Good. That's good enough.
Yeah, he doesn't drink anymore.
Yeah, clearly he
Yeah.
is like says in his attitude in general.
Yeah.
Hey, here's to you, Huckleberry Dillinger.
Yeah. But I think luck is a big part, Zach, for sure.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Because we're off right now, and all of the gyms are closed right now. So the place that when I'm a typical week off for me is I get up in the morning before Kimberly goes to work. I go to the Y and I work out And then I come home, and the Y's and all the gyms, everywhere's closed, Planet Fitness and everything. And lucky enough, as you guys know, I'm a fully qualified firefighter, so we have a gym at the fire station. So
Awesome.
I'm still able to keep my stuff up. So I'm still at it all the time.
That's good stuff.
Stay in playing shape, you know.
Yeah.
That's I mean that's kind of a perfect analogy that it's kind of just luck is what you're
Big
not
time,
all
man,
luck,
for sure.
But like,
well, I think relationships and luck for sure.
The PGA Tour, I mean, all those guys are so good, and it's just who catches fire at the right time to get their tour card and then to keep their tour card. That's how I feel like it is a lot out there.
Yeah.
If I can put like a quick cap on it, I think as Lorcan was explaining, I can kind of sum it up too, where I really feel like people ask me, it's like, oh, am I able to caddy or whatever at the resort or whatever? I'm like, well, go find out. In 30 days, you'll be able to find out if you can do this for the rest of your life if you want to, or if you completely suck at it. It's one or the other, and you kind of only can find out if you try.
Give me a break. I got Reed. Reed's made over $100,000 this year, right? I got Reed that job with Hubbard, right? I worked for Hubbard for a week because he's best friends with Ryan Bream. Bream called me and said, hey, Hubbard needs a caddy. I go, can you work for him for a week? And I said, sure. And I'm working with Hubbard. And Hubbard's like, hey, I need a full-time guy. And I was like, yeah, I'll find you somebody, right? You think if I knew what I know now, you think I wouldn't have friggin' jumped on Hubbard's? Give me a break, dude. Right? I've made a lot of money. But it's like we're 10 or 12 events into the year and Reed's made north of 100 grand. Come on, don't tell me that's not luck.
That's why I didn't bring up luck, is because I will never remove it from the equation whatsoever.
And listen, Reed is a world-class caddy, right?
Absolutely.
Reed is one of the best in the world. If I was playing professional golf, I would want Reed on my back. He's one of the best in the world. And Reed has made his own. Reed has kept that job because he's unbelievable at what he does. But as regards getting the job, that's just basically being in the right place at the right time, man. That's what it boils down to.
Absolutely.
But he's done all the work and taken Hubbard where he is on his own. I don't take any credit for that. But as regards getting him the job.
Right, there you go. That's why we have our own little cabal and our own family here. It works out for all. Yeah.
But there's three of us that run around on there's myself and Reed and Ed, Ed Alton, who works for Sebastian, and all three of us got our PGA Tour or got our players through Corn Ferry last year. So it was great. We had a really, really good time.
So funny because those are the three guys we're definitely like closest with. We're speaking with Ed on Monday. He's gonna.
Oh, good. Yeah, I've been talking with Ed every day, man. He's down in Colombia. You're gonna have so much fun with him. He has specified days that he's only allowed to go to the grocery store.
Yeah. Ed knows how to chug him down with the best of them.
Yes, he does.
The night I spent with him in Florida here during the Honda, that was something.
Oh, were you out with him?
Yeah, I went with him and Reed.
No, you usually get to see the sun come up when you go out with Ed. That's why I try to not go out with them during the week.
Yeah, well, they missed the cut, and then
Saturday. Oh, worse.
Yeah.
Him and I stayed together in Bermuda. We had a great week together, I think.
We were gonna meet.
Looks at the pictures on my phone.
Me and Reed were gonna meet Ed for like dinner Saturday night, but he's like, "No, I've been drinking all day because we missed the cut. Definitely won't be able to make it out."
Him and Reed in Nashville, they said, hey, man, you want to come to Nashville? Do you want to come downtown? We're going to go and eat dinner. We're in Nashville. And I said, absolutely not. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And this is on Wednesday. I'm like, or Tuesday it was on Tuesday. And they're like, oh, why not? And I said, because I don't trust either of you guys in downtown Nashville at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, no, it's just dinner. We'll be back by 6. I think they came back at 6 a.m. I know that they played a practice. They were together the next day in a practice round, and neither one of them could string a sentence together. And I was like, see,
they're playing together in Zurich.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Can
you believe that? Come on, give me a break. Yeah.
Are you guys heading out to Zurich?
What's that?
Are you guys going to be playing the Zurich this year?
They canceled it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's true. I wasn't sure what time of year it was.
We're going to play with Reen Gibson from Australia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Mr.
crazy.
55, holder of the lowest round of golf ever.
Indeed.
Yeah, had a little bit of a hit and giggle with his friends in Oklahoma, and they put it in the Guinness Book World of Records. How can it be a world record if you're not in a tournament? He will kill me for saying that, but when Jamie Arnold and I get to drinking, we love to tell Reen that he holds a world record in hit and giggle.
Yeah.
He shot it in a practice round with his buddy.
Well, hey, you know what? Okay, perfect example. I like to joke around with a lot of friends of mine, but a good buddy of mine, Slim, he actually played in a practice round with Chase Koepka, and Chase shot like a 72, and my boy Slim shot a 70. So I told him like a week later when we were having smokes in the caddy shack, I'm just like, dog, you can tell people you beat Koepka in a practice round, buddy.
Yeah, that's funny.
Not really, but still.
But
So
Chase beat Brooks in Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Chase has beat Brooks more often than I care to admit because I'm kind of a big Brooks guy. But since he's been
Brooks
broken,
doesn't win, he doesn't really care.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Like, what a life to just be like, 10th, that's no fun. I'll just go for
Like
it.
the guy exists to win majors. I'm very, very good friends with Ricky Elliott. Caddy from Ricky and I grew up together in Ireland, and Ricky told me that he exists to win major championships. He couldn't care less about anything else. Couldn't care less.
well, doesn't that sound like one Eldrick Tiger Woods?
Yeah, I think that Tiger may be a little bit of a different cut from a little bit of a different cloth, but it's still. But Brooks's mindset is very, very good and very, very close to Tiger.
Okay, yeah, I'm not even gonna venture to say there's gonna be an equal to Tiger on all those planes.
But don't you agree that Tiger won 2 or 3 of those majors from guys giving it to him, absolutely just shitting all over themselves on Sunday?
Okay, let's just have before we wrap up the show here, let's just have a quick little round robin. Name a few who shit the bed. I mean, because I can think of I know there are some, but it's like, other than Bob May duking out 74 holes and just not having enough, or 75 holes, not having enough in the 2000
But
PGA.
it's more of a fear factor. I don't think you can name one player. But there was maybe on Sunday, there was 5 players that could win the golf tournament, and then Tiger comes out on top every single time until Y.E. Yang.
Okay, yeah, okay, I was going to bring that up, but I would say Tiger's most recent Masters win was one of those where all of a sudden he was slowly trotting up the leaderboard, and everyone just kind of reclined in their seats for no reason. All of a sudden nobody could believe Tiger was performing, and it's like, okay, out of 6 really good golfers, one of them should think this. Not all 6 of them. And all of a sudden they just kind of, I don't want to say wilted, but they did. And Tiger just kind of slogged up the hill and won the damn tournament with ease. I mean, yeah.
But there was a period of time, as you know, Jerry, from 96 through 2008, where if Tiger Woods had a putt to win a major championship, it was only one place that ball was going.
It's what still keeps him in the conversation for Tiger versus Jack, who's best. There's a lot of things saying it's Jack, signed, sealed, delivered. 18 majors, 18 runners-up. Tiger has 15 majors, and snap.
We got a guest appearance.
What up, boy?
From Reed Martin.
It's a party! Reed, where'd you pop in from?
Oh, this is a first.
Down in Jacksonville, mate.
I was just singing your praises.
I know, he insisted on the guest appearance.
Oh, this is good stuff.
Zach texted me and said Lorcan was on the pod, and I said, get my ass on there right now.
There you go.
Reed, say hi to everybody on YouTube. I mean, we're seeing your handsome mug right now, too.
Hell yeah.
Reed, you recognize where I'm at. I know you've been here.
Yeah, that's your back pool, man.
See, he's been here.
Wait, Reed, does he have a front pool? He said this is back pool. I mean, come on. If this guy has 2 pools, then I know who I should text. Come on.
Reed, it's good to see you, man. You look good.
You too. Hey, just to let you guys know, I'll show you here. Look at this puzzle we got going on here.
Wow.
Oh, how many pieces is that?
Elvis Presley, man. It's 1,000 pieces.
Whoa, that's 1,000 and Elvis on acid. That's tricky.
Absolutely.
Or is it trippy?
Ah, Nolan, the sober one. Good one.
Hey, yo.
Reed, where are you at in Jacksonville?
Oh, the sober one.
Hey, Bob, he called him the sober one. Tell him I'm here.
Oh, my God.
How classic is this?
This is awesome. This is the way it should be.
We've got a group call. This is what we're going to have to do. I'm calling for this in a couple of weeks. We're going to get all our guys on. We're going to have a nice group. That could be our 1-year anniversary show. We get everyone in and out.
Hey, Reed.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
How about we get Ed on here after about 6 hours on Friday after missing the cut? 6 hours of party time.
Oh, God.
Hey, he had probably four bottles of wine finish off by then, huh, Lork?
Yeah, at least high dollar bottles of wine.
Well,
Weekly salary gone.
So, Reed, we're really glad you're here. We're wrapping up the show right now. Zach, is there anything else to cover before we do Canadian trivia? Lorcan, do you have a website or a book or a charity that you want to plug this time around?
No, I mean, it's just the same stuff I always talk about, man. First tee to foothills, right here where I live. Poorest county in North Carolina, one of them, Cleveland County. It's just the first tee to foothills. Yeah, we tried to do a raffle the last time, but what am I raffling now? There's nothing to raffle. There's no tournaments.
Well, that's why I said you could be doing like a video blog or a vlog, as they call them, or like you could be writing a book or something. Or
nothing that's that anybody would want to watch.
You could send a cameo of yourself. You're reaching that level of fame.
Yeah, maybe a swimming competition here in a minute.
Oh, hey, yeah, you got to one up Ryan Armour's wife there.
But now Reed and I are here, man. You guys just fire away with the questions. Reed and I are going to give you great insight here, and it's going to be similar mindset.
I promise you, I'll give you more detail on Mexico than you. I want to know what was said about Mexico.
We're not talking about Mexico. Next question. Everything except Zach. I told you that I was an open book, but I forgot to say that I was closed for Mexico. No, we can talk about Mexico. Reed, go ahead. Mexico is an unbelievable story.
We got to do a teaser because we're running out of time. We can't make people watch for 2 hours. But
why not? They love this stuff. What's not to watch? I mean, how pretty am I? I mean, why did you not want to look at this?
No, I'm telling you. 2 weeks.
Mexico, dude. Mexico is an all-time legitimary story. So either save it for another show, or we'll do it now.
No, we'll do it now. It's
Reed.
Reed, I'm being on this earth for 38 years. You've been on here for how long?
28.
28.
Lorcan, you're only 38.
You have a better story in 28 years on the planet, whether it's golf or it just happens to be golf related. I don't have a better story in 38 years. Do you?
Okay, Zach, I have the answer and the dividing point right here because I have been living in San Diego on again, off again for several years. I'll just ask Reed this much. Reed, does the story involve a horse and or donkey?
Negative, sir.
Okay, then it can wait for another time because I got a 30-second donkey show story chambered for you that'll trump everything. So,
let's do it. Let's set it up.
Oh no, yeah, I'll save my donkey show story for that time too. But I mean, we could have an all international episode or whatever, right, Zach?
Right. In 2 weeks, we're getting all the guys on. We're gonna get Seabass. Hopefully, Reed could get his guy Hubs on for one special show. You know.
That would be. I'll make it happen.
Okay, we need one special appearance. You just get a 5-minute appearance. We're gonna roll through the guests.
I'm playing golf with Sebastian on Monday.
I know. Are you gonna whoop him?
Probably not.
Probably not. I agree.
What is he spotting any strokes at all? I mean, come on, you're accomplished, dog.
No, man, I don't play golf anymore. I watch golf and I love it.
Reed, you got
Jerry. We all saw that swing. The duck hook in the woods, man. The one
into the woods. There was no tree. There was one tree, and I hooked around it perfectly. The only way. Lorcan, where'd you go? We lost Lorcan.
Oh no. Lorcan's gone out, but Reed, I was going to tell you, you got to get back out on the mini tour because they're doing DraftKings for mini tour now.
Really?
So you could be on DraftKings.
Wow.
And we'll start betting on you.
Yes.
I wouldn't do that, but
we'll
odds.
Well, look, DraftKings, they got to be giving them for cheap then, right? I mean, our man here is even saying himself, don't bet on me.
You're right.
Yeah.
Although,
I don't do that.
Unless we're not playing, I'll spend the next 4 months prepping, and I'll be back to normal.
That's right.
Zach, are you texting Lorcan right now to see if he can come back in before we just end the show without the?
That's
there
right.
He is.
Oh, he's back in. Okay, perfect timing.
You're like, oh shit, bye.
Reed, this is brilliant for you. I just realized because we're gonna go to some Canadian trivia. Reed's 0-2. The guy has not gotten one right, so he gets a free go at it.
All right, love it.
Okay, here we go. So it's multiple choice. The question is, how many lakes are in Canada? Is it A, 30,000?
We already do this one?
No, we never did this one.
Okay.
Wait, 30,000 exactly? Yeah, it's that one, I'm sure.
Okay, first of all, It's rounded. No, Reed, if you're getting your
What do you
buddy
mean,
to
first
look
of all,
up
you
the
just said
answer,
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Such a prick. Man, you got to play fair.
finally, at least we know
Hey,
the
man,
game's getting
I
out
need
there.
to get one dub.
At least we
my
know the
God.
game's getting out there.
All right, I can't concentrate. Come on.
Okay, the options are A, 30,000, B, 300,000, C, 3 million, or D, 30 million.
Holy shit! Definitely not 3,000.
Okay, it's 30, 300, 3 million, or 30 million.
Yeah, 3 wasn't an option.
Yeah.
So try again.
Okay, Jerry, you're going first. Nolan's going last because I feel like he knows.
So it's which one was 300,000?
300,000 was B.
I'll take 300,000.
Okay, Lorcan,
300,000.
Nolan,
300,000.
Reed.
God, well, I want to be the odd one, man. I want to go 3 million, but I'm going.
Of course he does. He wants to go the entire population of my country.
Yeah.
Canada's got
Right.
more lakes than
Going
people in
300,000.
Ireland.
300,000?
We all said 300,000.
Yeah.
You guys are all incorrect. The answer was 3 million. There are
See, Reed?
Damn it!
You're smarter than you look.
Lorcan, there's as many lakes in Canada as many citizens in your homeland. How do
Yeah,
you
one for
got that
everybody
3 million,
from the
mate.
country.
There are more lakes in Canada than the rest of the world combined. You guys
No
all
way.
What'd she say?
Reed, you should have really cheated there.
It didn't count.
This is an impressive 0-3 record for Reed. You got onto the show just to worsen your record.
Reed, I've been there.
Hey,
It's okay, you
we'll-
can come back.
We'll get a win fucking sometime, man. Might be next year. We'll do it.
I got
just
Irish.
point
I got Irish trivia for you.
Oh gosh.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm
No, go ahead, Zach. You go first.
Okay, well, PGA Tour caddies, by the way, or caddies in general, are horrific at this game. Between you guys are a combined 0-6.
Well, that's because we have one tournament a year in a country that doesn't matter.
Well, the players are good.
What is that going to do with anything? What are you talking about?
Yeah, that was,
What is that going to do with anything? What's happening?
okay, my country is just being attacked. Give your Irish trivia.
I'm just messing with you, but it's the biggest house in the world with a hell of a party in the basement.
Ouch.
Okay, this pod has gone completely off the rails. I'm very excited for the anniversary pod. You guys have to get your tuxedos ready. It will be happening.
One more Canadian.
Yeah,
Question.
no, there'll be more Canadian facts then. You know how hard it is to keep finding random facts about Canada that
Yeah,
Jerry and
evidently we were
Nolan
talking-
approve of?
Lorcan, when we were before the show started, when you dipped out for a second, Zach said, "Man, it's hard to find out Canadian fun facts or whatever." I'm just like, "Is Canada that boring?" I mean, really? You guys are the greatest, but come on.
First Irish player to win a major golf championship.
Darren Clark.
Wrong.
Shane Lowry. He's the only one I know.
No one will get this.
I'll
Oh,
get
what do you
this.
got?
Irish player.
First Irish player to win a major championship.
Could it be Northern Ireland?
Absolutely.
It's not McElroy, is it?
No.
Hey, Reed's friend, look it up. Let me know.
What are you, Reed's friend? What the heck?
Nolan. Come on.
Oh man.
Find the answer.
Reed's friend, isn't that the girl that like taught you how to smoke weed?
Podrick.
No.
It was Fred Daly.
Fred
Davis.
Daly.
What year
Yeah,
was it?
won the British Open. Have a
What year
look
was
it up. Harrington
what-
I don't know what year Fred Daly won the British Open. You'd have to look it up. But I
Sorry.
know that Harrington was the first player to win after Fred Daly.
Oh, so I was close.
Yeah.
North Irish professional golfer.
Fred Daly.
What year was that?
1947.
There you go. I would have said 1942. Yeah.
Well,
Fred Daly.
wait, they didn't play a British Open, or excuse me, an Open Championship 42, did they? That was wartime. Huh? Why is that funny, Reed? What's your problem? What's this guy? Hey, Reed, you want to go to the garage and practice karate and do dabs?
No, I'm about to continue my my puzzle here, man.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Namaste.
Elvis Presley.
Indeed. Well, this is hey, Reed, thanks for coming in late from the penalty box. This is a lot of fun.
I'm out. I'll talk to you guys later. We'll talk soon. We'll get that pod together.
Reed, I'll talk to you this week. Good seeing you, man.
Yeah, see you on the trails.
Right.
So beyond that, we are still doing Zach's conglomerating the website to From the Stadium. It's going to be found on Twitter at From the Stadium with an underscore right behind it. But Zach, Nolan, is there anything else we need to plug? Anything special to be on the horizon for you fellas?
No, I think
Good
we're
grammar,
good.
Terry. Woo! Woo!
I think we are good. Sign us off with a nice shout out. Do you got one this week?
Oh, yeah, I do have a shout out. So thank you very much, Lorcan, for being, well, shoot, like I said, you were the first person we had on the podcast, essentially, back when we were starting, and it's good to have you back. You're a blast.
I appreciate
do this longer. We'll have
you
episode
guys
2.
having me, man. It means a lot. I really do. It's great. You guys are awesome. Your check's always clear. It's a good thing.
if anything, our checks are always clear. That
They do.
Could be the title of the episode.
You'd be amazed how many don't.
On behalf of
great, man, I'm always here for you guys.
Thank you very much, and hey, samesies, brother, always for you. Anything we can do for you as well. So, on behalf of Zach and Nolan and Lorcan from the back tees, I'm Jerry Lou, and shout out Bullfrog.